Fran, thank you. A beautiful night in San Francisco for baseball. 62 degrees. We're in anticipation of a great matchup. This terrific rivalry between the LA Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. A rivalry and a matchup that Vin Scully presided over so often during his 67 years mic side as the voice of the Dodgers. The baseball world lost a giant when Vin Scully passed at the age of 94 last night. We've been eulogizing him all day on MLB Network, and we'll continue doing so today as kind of the underpinnings of a game that he would have loved to have been here for, of course, and one that he called off in this matchup between his Dodgers and a Giants team, by the way, with roots in New York that he grew up kind of loving. And with Hunter Pence, Matt Vasgersian, we'll be with you for the game call today, of course, and we'll be doing a lot of remembering and thinking back on Vin Scully's terrific career. A part of that coverage begins now as we send it to the Oracle Park PA announcer, Rennell Brooks Moon, who will start the ceremonies honoring Vin Scully here in San Francisco.
Mr. Scully's impeccable delivery and incredible storytelling skills left an indelible mark on the sport that he fell in love with as a young fan of the New York Giants. His legendary Hall of Fame career will forever have a lasting legacy on sports fans across the world. Mr. Scully was loved by so many, and his great respect for both our fans and our organization made him beloved by many here in San Francisco. On October 2nd of 2016, Mr. Scully signed off of his final Dodgers telecast right here at Oracle Park.
Many years ago, a little red-headed boy was walking home from school, passing a Chinese laundry, and stopped to see the score of a World Series game posted in the window. The Yankees beat the Giants 18-4 on October the 2nd, 1936. Well, the boy's reaction was pity for the Giants, and he became a rabid Giants fan from that day forward, until the joyous moment when he was hired to broadcast Brooklyn Dodger games in 1950. Ironically, October the 2nd, 2016 will mark my final broadcast of a Giants-Dodger game, and it will be exactly 80 years to the day since that little boy fell in love with baseball. God has been very generous to that little boy, allowing him to fulfill a dream of becoming a broadcaster and to live it for 67 years. Since 1958, you and I have really grown up together through the good times and the bad. The transistor radio is what bound us together. By the way, were you at the Coliseum when we sang Happy Birthday to an umpire? Were you among the crowd that groaned at one of my puns? Or did you kindly laugh at one of my little jokes? Did I put you to sleep with the transistor radio tucked under your pillow? You know, you were simply always there for me. I've always felt that I needed you more than you needed me, and that holds true to this very day. I've been privileged to share in your passion and love for this great game. My family means everything to me, and I'll now be able to share life's experiences with them. My wife Sandy, our children Kevin, Todd, Aaron, Kelly, and Catherine, along with our entire family, will join me in sharing God's blessings of that precious gift of time. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me on this incredible journey of 67 years of broadcasting Dodger baseball. You know, friends, so many people have wished me congratulations on a 67-year career in baseball, and they've wished me a wonderful retirement with my family. And now, all I can do is tell you what I wish for you. May God give you for every storm a rainbow, for every tear a smile, for every care a promise, and a blessing in each trial. For every problem life seems a faithful friend to share, for every sigh a sweet song, and an answer for each prayer. You and I have been friends for a assured once again it will be time for Dodger baseball. So this is Vin Scully wishing you a very pleasant good afternoon wherever you may be.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you kindly please rise if you are able and remove your caps and join us in a moment of silence as we remember the extraordinary life and legacy of Mr. Vin Scully. Thank you, everyone. And here now to perform the national anthem, please welcome Johnny Staten.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' bright glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave fruit through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Staten. Thank you, sir.
Well, a very emotional way to start tonight in San Francisco. Dodgers and Giants, third game of a four-game series. And here in the press box, and it's very unusual and certainly appropriate in this case to have a visiting broadcaster forever remembered in the press box, the visiting broadcast booth here at Oracle Park. It's where we come to you tonight with Hunter Pence, Matt Vasgersian. There are so many things to say about the life and career of Vin Scully. I think, as always was the case, he said it best himself in that clip we just showed from 2016 that they played here on the scoreboard. Vin truly felt, Hunter, like he needed the fans more than they needed him. He had zero ego, and for a legend in the industry to really genuinely feel that way about himself is pretty rare.
Yeah, it's an example to all of us. He was one of the greatest of our time, Hall of Fame broadcaster, and then do it with humility and grace the way he did, the way he was such a master of the art. He made every game almost like a song to me. It was like a beautiful orchestra. Getting to listen to him tell stories and the work that he put in, one of the most amazing humans, and we were all lucky to have him in the baseball world for as long as we did.
Your perspective is certainly interesting as a player to hear about what you thought of Vin Scully and somebody that was so big in the industry. We're going to talk about it a lot during the telecast tonight. And certainly J.P. Morosi, who's with us tonight as well, his thoughts on the life and times of one of the all-time greats. J.P.
Matt, good evening. It is nothing short of sublime that it is a Giants-Dodgers series that is happening as we pay tribute to the life and career of Vin Scully, because this rivalry, these two teams, meant so much to him. As we heard earlier, of course, it was the Giants who were his favorite team. Mel Ott was his favorite player as a boy. And as you know, Matt, late in his career, this was the one trip he always wanted to keep making all throughout those 67 years, was to watch and to cover and to broadcast the games between the Giants and the Dodgers here in San Francisco on the road. And earlier today, Matt, we heard Dave Roberts use a very important word. That word was grateful, gratitude. He's grateful that he was able to call Vin Scully a friend of his, and certainly all of us today grateful to be here and be able to broadcast this game under what is, Matt, tonight, a brilliant blue sky.
You bet. And we'll be talking about Vin and the impact he's had on all of us throughout the telecast tonight. Nobody's ever seen, let alone called, more Giant Dodger games than the great Vin Scully.
Who was Vin Scully?